Clear Digital. Thanks for joining us this morning. I've got Frederick Jacobs beside me here. He's going to run the webinar for us. Later on the presentation, we'll also hear from Doug and Damien and their own personal experience with the 360 product. Hand it over to you, Frederick.
Yeah.
Aluminum material instead of copper.
The phones are ringing off the hook. I mean, it's just a huge problem. Everybody wants their lights fixed and they want them fixed now.
As for the issue at the NV Energy substation, the utility confirming to News 3 several pieces of equipment were damaged. Repairs are being made and the company will take a look at what can be done to make facilities more secure.
Hello, everyone. We're starting up. Maybe good. Thanks for having me, Conan. Maybe it's good for you all to just write something in the chat that we are sure you can hear us. We already started with the first video, but just say a little hi, and then we know that everybody is coming through. Good morning, Andrew, Lewis, Luke. Okay, perfect. Okay. Very good. Okay, let's go. So Conan, thanks for having me. Indeed, in this webinar. So I think what we saw there was a video. What happened in Las Vegas? So it was a pitch dark scene, and there was a lot of theft of copper, and the whole city was in the dark. So I think with the right security, we could have prevented it. I think that was really the case of the video. Okay, so thanks for having me. I already said so. So I'm Frederick from Security360. We're giving today a webinar of our product and what Clear Digital is distributing now. And we have some success stories as well already in New Zealand. So we like to take you on this journey today about our product. Quick overview of our agenda. So the hidden cost of insecurity, why some sites are the prime target. I think we can all learn a little bit from that. Why Security360 tries to be a game changing in this industry and have a better proactive security before it really happens. Real world example of success. So we have some success cases all around the world already, of course, mainly in our home time, but also in New Zealand. And we're discussing a case study. So we had a successful case, and we will discuss this with a few extra people in this webinar, Doug and Damien. And afterwards, we will have some Q&R as well, if you have any questions. If you have any questions, you can write in the chat. I will not go through with it. I will not answer it directly because it will be a little too much, but afterwards we could dive in deeper. So first of all, the hidden cost of insecurity. I just want to take you through it. Of course, we have the cost of the stolen goods already, but still there is like a ripple effect as well after a burglar. First of all, theft, high value raw materials like copper, for example. That can be a prime target. It's cost between 1,000, 10,000 and even more at just one case. So that's the first thing that happens. But afterwards, the ripple effect. So what we see is insurance implications. So premiums after repeated incident increases. Project delays, one of the biggest, I think, if a project gets delayed or production site get delayed or whatever facility is there, if somebody breaks in, there is a lot of admin to handle, which keeps you back from your main focus. And reputation damage as well. I think if you get a site, clients, investors, they lose their trust because of insecure sites and applications. So of course, some projects or some installations got broken in more often than other ones. What we see is, of course, the open nature of a site, That's obviously a big thing. If the site is easy to reach, easy to get out, it's more easy to break in. So they have a little bit more problems with theft. High value assets, of course, when there is nothing to steal, why would you break in? So that's an easy thing, I guess. And a variable flow of people. So if burglars know, okay, at night nobody is there, in the weekend nobody's there, and it's also a consistent schedule, then it's also much more easy to break in at that moment. And if we look at the numbers worldwide, 52% of construction sites, for example, they've been a victim in just the first year when they start up. So all these sites, all these projects are secured, or they think they're secure. They rely on inefficient security systems sometimes. Of course, we're trying our best to secure with everything that's possible. But what we see is a lot of false detections coming through with a lot of systems. So when there's too much false detections, it's not only the false detections that cost a lot of money, but it also lowers the trust of having a right detection. So control rooms, police follow up, and even owners really, they don't believe in these detections anymore. And then, when there's something really happening, they're not watching it or not following up as focused as they were. Also, the cost, having guarded security guys, having big installations with fiber, for example, or electric systems or beams detector, ground detection. So a lot of installation costs coming through. Afterwards, the flexibility. If you get like your high voltage system, if you get your ground detection system, for example, it's already difficult to reinstall or to position different ways. And then last but not least, the reaction time. So when we get a video verification in a control room or with the owner, there is a visual verification already, so you know what's happening, and you can lower the reaction times at that moment to fill a gap in. Security 60 or myself, a few years ago, we saw the problem, and we saw the consequences. So we went down into it, and we wanted to build a system based on cameras, based on existing cameras. And we were on a mission to protect global properties from the outside. And we tried to combine different security or different technologies together to make it easy to install, easy to maintain, and integrate it with different security systems. So the conclusion, first of all, we have our edge and cloud AI. It's based on never miss anything. What could be a possible intruder? Of course, and missing detections of missing possible intruders is the biggest issue. But then also filtering out the false detections to make a two-way authentication system that you don't miss anything, but you filter out almost all false detections, and that the trust grows a lot in these sites. So a few weeks ago, one of our users got not one, but 6 intruders. Police were on site and they could catch the intruders at that moment. We have a video of it, so let's start with the video. What's behind the solution? Of course, there's technology behind the solution to combine it. So we have 4 big technology stacks, we call it, in our ecosystem. We have our box, we have our AI, we have our cloud portal, and we have our own mobile app. So I dive deeper in different parts to give you a better idea. So first of all, we have the box. So it's designed and manufactured in Belgium. So it's a fully Belgian-made product. We give 5 years warranty. We have a normal version, and we're shipping as from tomorrow the LTE version. So you can put in your own SIM card. You can use it standard constantly on 4G connection, for example, or as a backup system when the internet falls down. Then on top of that, we can also run a VMS on it, network optics. So we have AI detection on the box. We have alarm panel features in the box. What I didn't say yet is what we try to do is we try to combine AI detection, alarm panel features into one solution. But on top of that, you can also run the network optics VMS on it. So you can integrate a 3.5 or a 2.5 inch hard drive, and then you can just download from our cloud network optics. You can buy your licenses from your local distributor, of course, and then you have a VMS on the same box as well. We can go up to 8 cameras on AI detection on this box, 2 network ports, different in and outputs to activate different partitions, to arm and disarm connected to an alarm panel, but also to run a siren, for example, on location. So the reason we build our own hardware, so it wasn't not an easy decision and not an easy road as a software company, to be very honest. But what we see in the market is left. A lot of AI boxes are coming. A lot of AI companies are coming with quite good solutions, but they don't think about the hardware. So they have like a local PC, but you need your own alarm panel, IO detection, LTE router. So you need to build it all yourself to combine it and to get the same solution. That's why we decided to build our own solution to make it easy and one solution that fits all. Then we have the cloud portal. So very important when we start the company. I think it's very important that we have an AI that's training itself. So it's getting learned, it's getting updated. I think when you place the box on site, we're responsible to have the latest software and firmware updates. We got too much the feedback of camera manufacturers. You didn't install the latest firmware update, so that's why it's not working, or sensitivity levels or whatever. So what we build is we push all the updates to all the boxes we sold, even in the past. But also you as an installer, as a control room, even as a distributor, you will have everything remotely accessible. You can see your installations, you can set up your parameters, everything is done in the cloud. So place a box on site, connect it to the internet, and the rest is done remotely. An example of it, a calculator, start by calculating how many cameras you would need. So depending on the angle of the lens, we have, of course, a detection range. You can do that all in the portal. You can save it, and you can connect it to your sold project. So that's the first thing. One of the other things is configure your IOs. So this is the IO configuration that you can do. Inputs can be connected to different partitions. You have like an access control system at the gate to arm and disarm different partitions on your cameras, so zones that you select on the cameras, but also using inputs like a detector or a beam or a panic button, for example. It needs to trigger a detection or a video clip to send to the control room. You can also set it up right there. We are monitoring all the cameras if they're working still. Also, when a camera gets turned, chains all can be connected to outputs, alarm panel, or control room activation, or even to the mobile app from the end user. And then one of the other example is the integrations that we do with the control rooms. So we try to support as much as possible standard protocols like SIA DCO9, for example. It's used for 80% of our control rooms, but also IMIX used by some other control rooms. It makes it easy. You get those credentials from your control room, so you fill it in, you do the test, and then the 10-second video clip with the bounding box that we create will be sent to the control room at that moment. Integrations that we have, so all kind of big brands of cameras are integrated, but also an RTSP if the brand is not supported yet. The platforms that we support, the VMSs that we support, like network optics, we run network optics on the box, but we can also send the detections to network optics as well. Then our mobile app, and then you see the strength of this combination of being an alarm panel for cameras, or trying to be an alarm panel for cameras, it's because you can see the live images there. You can see the detections as a push notification. You can watch them back for 30 days. But you can also do the arming and disarming part. And we are even upgrading the mobile app. It will be launched at the end of this month, which makes it even more easy to activate and deactivate different partitions, making a schedule mode and see when the arming and disarming is happening on that site as well. Also, we are integrating, for example, that you can arm for an hour. So you just have a delivery, for example, by somebody bringing a package. You can just disarm it for 1 hour and automatically get armed again. So we really try to get in these features as well. Okay, so everything that I showed now, it's an AI-driven solution with own hardware. So we really focus on intruder detection. We're not an AI company that's doing fire detection and all kinds of stuff, really only intruder detection. But we try to be a total solution for the beginning, connecting your cameras to the integration with the control room and everything around it. But what does it look like in real life? Well, we do have some success stories. So we want to take you through a waste management company that was dealing with break-ins despite having traditional security measurements in place. Their cameras were recorded, so they were recording the incident, but nobody stopped the real intruder until they installed Security 60. And I also want to show you the next video to understand it better. So, yeah, as you can see, this was a real good situation, I think. We detected, it was sent to the control room took action, and the police caught them, and yeah, they really caught them. You saw it on the videos. So first of all, we want to dive deeper in the success story, and we have Doc in the webinar as well. Doc from USS. Hi, Doc.
Hi.
Hi. And then we got Damien from AlarmWatch. He was also active in this project. So we like to start our panel debate now, ask you guys some questions. I got some questions prepared just to get some feedback of you as well. I think I can start. Okay. So maybe Doc first of all, well, yeah, welcome Doc and Damien. First of all, before installing Security 60, what were the biggest security challenges at Northland Waste? Because the project was Northwest Waste, if I'm correct.
Hello, everybody. So the biggest was unlawful entry into their fenced compound, and the thieves or unwilling participants were stealing steel or anything that they could sell, obviously to gain money for their habits or whatever they decided to choose. And that was the biggest hurdle that Northland Waste had, is trying to combat that. And 360 ended up being the solution.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, Doc. Maybe Damien, question for you. Hi, welcome as well.
Good morning, everyone.
What was your experience monitoring the site before Security 60? Did you receive a lot of alerts which you could take action on, or not?
Yeah, look, I guess it's like any site where we don't have video verification or we don't have any video monitoring. You know, we get a high number of false alarms off outdoor sensors or beam detectors. We don't have the insight to see what's happening on the site. So you end up dispatching guards. Guards are responding to false alarms. The apathy of the guard after so many false alarms increases, you know, so the guard response time increases. Police are hesitant to attend because there's no verified event. It's pretty typical of any site that has high activations or alarm activations where we can't verify what's happening.
Yeah. So seeing what's happening is really a big advantage in I think in the time as well, like getting somebody.
Yeah, it's a huge deal for us getting that video from the site to confirm that there's people on site, whether or not they're a verified intruder or not, but people who shouldn't be on site, allows us to roll the guard response quicker. The guard's gonna prioritize it. It also means that we can straight away get on the phone with police. Police typically, as soon as we tell them we have video, roll their cars. And while they don't guarantee response, it's, in our experience, the police tend to put their foot down a little bit faster on the pedal to get there a little bit quicker to try and catch offenders. That's what they want. They want to catch people. And if we can tell them that, hey, we've got people on site, and we can tell them what they're wearing or how they're dressed, we seem to get a much faster response from police.
Perfect. If they want to catch, people, then it's a good thing, of course. Maybe a question again to you, Doc. Can you walk us through the installation process? How easy was it to integrate Security 60 in an existing environment?
It ended up being a relatively simple process. We were faced with which a lot of people would be faced with, the network challenges of a site, and their networks are locked down and so forth. But surprisingly, we basically took the box to site, put it in a nice safe haven and on their network, plugged it in, turned it on, came back to the office and programmed it. And basically just really, to be fair, followed our nose, and before you knew it, it was actually talking to the monitoring sensor and doing what it's supposed to do.
Perfect. Nice to hear. Very nice to hear. Damien, maybe to you, I think the first intruders were caught at the first night that the Security 60 was installed. How did your team react on that verification process?
Look, our team love catching offenders. We like spotting burglars, and we like rolling police and seeing the police catch them. There's no better feeling in the room or in our team, and in the wider management team as well, to find out the next day that, hey, we had a catch the previous night, and it proves to us the technology works, and that this is where, the industry needs to move in terms of, video verification and video monitoring, because it gets results.
Perfect. Nice to see. That's also the goal of Security 60, get results and really try to stop crime. Maybe a question to both. Since implementing Security 60 and of course the cooperation with you guys, what was the feedback from the customer, Northland Waste? Are they any different? Are they enthusiastic about it?
So the Northland Waste, because obviously it worked the first night that it was in, like it just blew us all away. And then a couple of nights later, it did the same job. So, and there was the police caught the thieves on both occasions. Just a note, the place has not been targeted since, so that's a big plus. But the Northland Waste, they came back to us with saying they were just overwhelmed with how well it worked, and it's a big game changer for them because they've been struggling with theft night after night after night. Their previous apps on the cameras that we installed for them before would go off, but they had no way of implementing the capture of the people until now. So they're very, very happy.
Okay, perfect. Nice to hear. Yeah, maybe I have some broader industry questions. So maybe to Damien. So false alarms are a major issue in the security industry. How do they impact monitor centers like yours, and how does video verification help? Thank you.
Yeah, look, you're right. Look, we on typical receive around about 10,000 alarm events a day, and 99% of those are false events. The ability, like I said before, for us to have video that is going direct to the operator, so it comes direct up on the operator's screen. They're not having to delve into any other solution. They're not having to connect to someone's NVR or VMS platform to see what's going on. That makes a huge difference. There's a critical time factor when we're responding to alarms, and if we've got video direct in front of the operator, it allows the operator to make a decision, straight away. If we have to connect into someone's NVR or VMS, we've got some issues here. So the first one is time. We've got to open the software, we've got to find the site, we've got to connect to the site depending on the stability of the site's network connection. Depends on how fast we'll access the cameras. So by that time, you're already, 2 minutes, coming up to 3 minutes down the track. You're then presented with not just one camera view, but 1 to 64 camera views. So now the operator's got to start looking through 64 cameras potentially. You've then also got to train staff on every possible different platform that exists, and how to do playback, and then they're playing back and trying to play back over 64 cameras potentially. It just doesn't work. It worked in the past. It worked 10 years ago when, there were less systems out there, but it's not scalable. Something like Security 360 with the analytics is a scalable solution for us. Because we're only delivering to the operator the video that the operator needs. They're not confused. They're not getting distracted by the other, 64 cameras or 63 cameras that are showing them video. All they are getting is the video that is relevant to the event that is going on. Our long-term view on this is that, this is the way the industry needs to head. It will reduce false activations. It will put more money in the pocket of integrators rather than necessarily in the hands of guard companies, because we'll only be dispatching, guards to real events. It also means that, that obviously frees up guard time to actually do a more professional job on their patrol runs and so on.
Okay, perfect. Nice. Thanks for clarifying the total scope of the answer. Maybe a question to Doug again. Many businesses rely on traditional perimeter security solutions and security guards. Based on your experience, what is a proactive solution like security system better fits in certain sites? Do you really see a growth in the future on this kind of security compared with traditional security solutions?
Oh, absolutely. The AI algorithm has certainly changed our industry vast in a very short time. It's going to be the stage where I believe the traditional alarm system will be a thing of the past. It'll be people's camera systems that will be the alarm, and the AI will pick up a person, a vehicle. It'll be targeting what you want instead of lots of things that you don't want. Car headlights and so forth. The way of the future, I think, especially for video, is an AI-driven box like the 360. It's definitely a game changer.
Okay, thanks a lot. We got at the end of my questions. Really, thanks a lot, Doug and Damien, for your answers and your experience. Then let's open up the Q&A. Are there any questions from people are watching this webinar? I didn't see any yet, if I'm not mistaken, but don't hesitate. Just ask it in the chat and we will reply to it.
Well, I might have one for Doug. So, Damien. So, Damien, when you're monitoring and you get video verification coming through, I guess the thing about the 360 is you're just not getting a video where you're looking at the scene and you're trying to decide what you're looking at, right? So, I mean, I guess the nice thing with the 360 is that it's a bounding box around exactly what you're supposed to look at. So how do your operators find that?
Yeah, look, it's a huge thing for us, especially when you've got situations that are low light. In our experience with Security 360 is we're getting pretty good detections in even low light situations. But that bounding box that identifies the vehicle or identifies the person just helps the operator focus in to where they need to be looking. Anything that you can add to increase the ability for an operator to notice something or highlight what is happening adds value to us. It makes it easier for the operator straight away.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah.
I see one question coming in. Can we purchase the box, or is there an ongoing subscription? There is the hardware part, so you would purchase the box, and there is a subscription for the platform and per camera that you connect. Indeed, so it's we store images 30 days. We're filtering out through our cloud to be more accurate on the site. So there is a cloud cost for us as well. So there is a cost per month as well. We are launching a 1, 3, and 5 year upfront subscription, which is a little bit cheaper, a little bit easier to maintain the admin of having that the monthly invoice. We do try to make it flexible. So what you use, you pay. So if you're using 3 cameras, you pay for 3 cameras. So it's quite flexible on that part. But there is a box and a license price. Yes, indeed. Matt is asking 8 cameras maximum per box. Yes, indeed. This box is maximum 8 cameras. You can have unlimited boxes on one project. You can connect them all to each other, so you get like one installation. To be very honest, the average connection to boxes is 4. If we look worldwide, all the boxes installed, it's 4, because maybe you have an installation with 16 cameras, but you're doing perimeter detection, you can do the calculation. So like if you get like 10 cameras recording on a VMS, it doesn't mean you need to have 10 connected cameras to our AI solution. It could be 3 or 4 cameras on the most important spots that you connect to it, and that's the way to go. Actually,
what you can also do is if you've got 4 cameras connected, and then the intrusion area moves within your facility, you can take those 4 cameras off in that area and put 4 other cameras on in another area where it's moved to. So you can take cameras on and off as you want.
Yeah. Okay, then I have a question from Richard. Can you explain more about the cloud service and accuracy of the AI events? I tried to, like this image, what you saw, I tried to explain it again. So what's happening, actually, there is an AI running on the box, and there is an AI filtering system, different layers in our cloud. So what happens actually is it detects, this is the right image. We will go to that. So left up, it starts, so we can connect any kind of camera to the box, very sensitive AI. The AI there picks up a human or a vehicle, makes a 10-second video clip, it sends it to a cloud. The cloud is analyzing it, if it's a real human or not, and at that moment we send it to a control room. We have an accuracy of 99.998% if we look at all the videos and all the filters that we're doing. I think you need to test it to see it, I guess. I think most control rooms can assure that we don't send too many filters.
The difference is that we're running 2 AI filters on an event, where a lot of other systems in the market are only using one and relying on that one. And what happens is it always sits in a compromised position. By being able to have 2 AI filters, you can have it very strict and very sensitive in one bit, and then very open in the other. So you get both ends of the scale, which makes it super accurate.
Yeah, correct. And also, like, it's our responsibility to not miss any detections, in the area that we suggest you to have your camera set up. And we also guarantee to filter out the false detection. So if you get only the edge on the camera side, for example, then it's like, yeah, it's too sensitive, not sensitive enough. If you got only a cloud AI, then the cloud AI says, oh, the cameras are sending too much or not set up accurate. Yeah, the accuracy on the camera is not good enough. So we try to have the both responsibility of both, and then we can have this total solution. I got an extra question of Dolph. Are there any upcoming AI port updates or new AI features in the pipeline? Well, yeah, we're always training and updating the AI. What we really try to do, so the goal actually for us is to have a system that could be always on and that could learn the project itself, that it learn the position where the cameras are placed. That's actually our future goal. So at this moment, we have two enemies of outdoor perimeter detection. I think it's the false detections that we try to filter out already, but you can also get the usage of the system. Damien told us like 99% of the detections are false. I don't think that they're all not human, but a lot of them are also not a threat. It's just a user that enters a secured area. He didn't put out the detection. He didn't know that there was cameras active and things like that. So what we really try to do in the far future, the architecture is built like that, is actually that we have a box on site that's learning the first month the normal behavior. Not on face recognition or different. I don't believe in those kind of things when you got like overview cameras. But more of, okay, we never saw two persons walking in the backyard at 2 a.m., for example. So this is abnormal behavior. But what we saw is, okay, the person is always walking at the front around 7. A male guy or a mailman goes to the front door. He never goes to the back door, for example. And when they're still going to the back door, we see it as abnormal behavior. That's far. That's a dream that we have. We don't have any plans of having gun detection, for example, or something like that. It could be the case in the future. At this moment, we really try to be very good in the things that we do at this moment. Okay, Matt, does the box use camera analytics? When we do, we can support camera analytics for 4 brands. It's Bosch, Axis, Hikvision, and Dahua. So we integrated their Edge AI, and if you're using thermal cameras, you still need to use that Edge AI because our Edge AI on the box is not supporting thermal yet. But you could use it like that. To be very honest, nobody's doing it anymore with optical cameras because the detection range of our AI is farther and the setup is much easier to do if you're using our Edge AI. But we do support camera AI of those 4 brands. That's actually how we started in the beginning.
But just remember that if you use the camera AI, then you can't use the cloud AI, so you don't get the double filter.
Yeah. Sorry, Conan. Yeah, you do get the double filter. Sorry, maybe that's a confusion. But you can have like the camera AI and then filtered out in the cloud and then sent to the control room. You can have only the camera AI, but then it's a lot of false detection. So I don't think that's the good thing to do. But you can do it like that. But the biggest thing is you need to do the Edge AI settings in the camera AI. And when the camera misses something, yeah, then whose responsibility is it that it missed? Yeah, it's the camera, of course. But for the false detections, you could filter out. But the best way is to use our Edge AI, to be very honest. Okay, how often are software updates done throughout the year? Around every 4 to 6 weeks. So about every month we do software updates, but we push them to the boxes. So you never need to do anything. The only thing that you will see is you log into your system and we will say, okay, there is a new update launched. These are the changes and that's it. It's not like a firmware update, like functions will not work anymore. Of course, number 1 is always working. And what we do actually, we don't push the updates at that moment to the boxes when the arming is done. So their updates pushed, but when the box is disarmed, it will update the software, and it's an update of a few seconds. It's not like restarting the box 5 times because we're using 12 software applications on the box, and if you're updating the AI, it's only the AI that will be updated. So you will not feel anything. So we never get complaints after an update, to be very honest. For example, we were on 6 cameras supporting. We went to 8 cameras, but it was a software update. So all the boxes installed for 3 years were all updated with the software, and now they can support 8 cameras. Why would you integrate to the VMS NVR or platform rather than just the camera? Jonathan, I don't get the question, I think. So why would you integrate to the VMS NVR or platform rather than just the camera? I think what you're asking now is connect the box. So you can also connect the box to an NVR, for example, like Hikvision or DAWA NVRs. If you got like an extra network port free, you can just connect our box to the NVR and get the stream from there. We just need the RTSP stream. If the NVR or the VMS can send out the RTSP streams, that's also okay. But if you get a server with a network optics or a milestone, you plug it in the PoE switch and you get the stream from there, from the camera directly. That's actually the thing. We are always using the second or the third stream, never the megapixel stream, because we're using the 640 by 480. That's actually the resolution that's ideal for us, for a system to work with.
Yeah, preferably we go direct to camera most of the time. Even though you're on the same network as your VMS or your NVR, we're pulling it directly from the camera as a second stream or third.
Yeah. Richard, will there be any future ANPR functions? We don't have it on our roadmap to develop it, but you can use it already. So if you use our box with network optics on top of it, and you have an ANPR camera integrated, or you have like a plugin for network optics using ANPR software, you could use it already. So it's not something that we will develop, but you can already use it in the same combination. That's actually the thing. So yeah, you could use it by just running network optics on it and have an ANPR camera that's supported by network optics, and you have the full solution. So the only thing you would need is a camera that has ANPR on board, and that's it.
That's right. And if the ANPR is on network optics and it finds a camera on the blacklist, could trigger the output, the input of the box, which would then send it to the monitoring station.
Yeah.
10 seconds.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, also that, like even, or if you're using like, instead of the Edge AI, using from the brands I said, like DAWA or Hikvision or Axis or Bosch, you're using the ANPR camera, then it can also detect like digitally the box, and it makes 10-second video clips. If there is on a blacklist, for example, send it to the control room. So you can make this kind of combinations if it's needed for this kind of features. That was the last question that I can see. Any other questions? No, I don't see any coming in. So I think we had a very productive webinar. Oh, there was a subscription per camera or per box. Yeah, both. Sorry, Daryl. That's like a basic subscription per box for the platform, and a subscription for the camera.
For each camera. So if you've got one camera, you got one camera license, one subscription. If you got three, you got 3 camera subscription, but you always have one camera, one box subscription license.
Yeah, we see that mainly as the box is the integration part. It's a 30-day storage. It's everything there for the platform, and then per camera that you connect your cloud AI to filter out mainly to go to the control room. Then you get like a price per camera.
And those subscriptions will soon be able to be either monthly, yearly, 3 yearly. So again, however it works with your client. Yeah,
that's an update that will be launched tomorrow normally. That you will have the ability to, per customer, you can choose 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, and you get your invoices from your distributor, Clear Digital. Okay, I think this was the last questions. It was a very productive meeting. Thanks, Damien, Doug, for the good answers and your experience with our solution. Conan, thanks a lot. Believing in us. We are pretty much at the other side of the world, but we're catching burglars, whatever the place is.
Yeah, all around the world. It's brilliant.
So thanks a lot.
Thank you guys. Really appreciate you for coming on. today and spending your time the last hour with us. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Bye.